What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today, we're going to be taking a look over here at the XRP price chart and making a video about XRP. As many of you should know, XRP is my largest holding. It's even on the logo of my hat. If you walked into the closet of my house, you would see how many of these hats I actually do own. Some of them are more worn than others, and every day it is the most difficult choice over black or white. Either way, it's been a little while since we've talked about XRP. There's been things going on with Ripple, so I figured we'll have a good old-fashioned XRP video. Before we get started, this video is brought to you by Link2, who's running their promotion that they're extending from yesterday, where they've reduced minimum investments on private equity to $5,000, and all investments made today also get $1,000 in XRP for first-time investors on the Link2 platform today. Link2 has a great selection to diversify your portfolio in private equity or pre-IPO companies such as Ripple, Link2, Uphold, BitPay, Dapper Labs, Carbon over here on their website. And Link2 does a great job of knocking the walls down to make it more accessible to more people to be able to invest in pre-IPO companies. You can check out their selection today by visiting the link in the description of this video to Link2. Now, it's undoubtedly been a rough time out there in the cryptocurrency market, and the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, came out to make a comment about it. You know, with how tough of a time it is out there in the cryptocurrency market and the fact that we've just been in a straight line down, it's just kind of like, you know, who's going to make it through all of this, right? And it was nice to see a little bit of assurance come out of at least Ripple doing okay, considering they own the most XRP out there. And, you know, you've probably, if you've been looking around watching XRP videos, you've probably already seen this, but I'm sure there's lots of viewers who haven't. I thought we'd kind of go through this real quick just to kind of put some nerves at ease a little bit. So let's read this from Brad. I thought it was really good. Days like today are never what you hope to see, especially in an industry with as much incredible talent as crypto. If you recently joined the industry and haven't seen a downturn like this, know that this too shall pass. Advice from someone who's seen a few downturns over the years. It's never easy, but there are a few key reasons why Ripple has weathered the cyclical bear markets, as we will do here, and continue growing. 1, having an experienced executive team that has been through the dot-com bubble, 2008 financial crisis, 2018 crypto winter, and more. 2, focusing on the long term. Ripple has been building enterprise products with long-term utility, not speculation. These are products that solve problems today, not ones that are in search of a problem. For your information, the second quarter on-demand liquidity volume was well over 1 billion and has already surpassed its target 3 weeks before the end of the quarter. Number 3, operating with transparency. As a holder of XRP, we believe communication and transparency, including our quarterly market reports, are key to being a responsible stakeholder. We've been asking for regulatory clarity for years and been upfront about what is and isn't working. 4, paying attention. What's happening now is not a small market gyration. We've been preparing for this with a significant cash balance and thus can afford to keep hiring the best talent with the goal of 50% outside the US. The market is likely going to shrink in the near term, but I and many others have every ounce of confidence that crypto will succeed in the future as an integral part of our global financial systems. Slow and steady wins the race. And that, you know, they've been preparing for this with a significant cash balance and thus can afford to keep hiring the best talent with the goal of 50% outside of the US. And if you look at other companies throughout the cryptocurrency market and what's happening to them, right? You've got layoffs happening in a lot of these companies, such as Crypto.com, Robinhood, Bitso, Gemini, Coinbase, BlockFi, BitMEX, laying off pretty large portions of their actual staff, but not Ripple. They're hiring. And while it's nice to have Ripple utilizing XRP in their software, right? We can't be fully dependent on Ripple entirely. XRP is fast, secure, and inexpensive as a means of currency, with more use cases coming out in each update, soon to be NFTs. But for Ripple, one of the largest holders of XRP, to be in a good position is a little reassuring, right? Knowing that, hey, they've got a lot of XRP, but they're in a position to be able to weather something like this, right? Unlike with what we're seeing with a lot of kind of the wild whale Bitcoin and Ethereum traders out there who are going through a lot of this, you know, liquidation cascading things that are happening. But of course, XRP has not been immune to the wrath of the cryptocurrency market, which of course builds a case even further against the SEC that Ripple influences the price of XRP. Still to this day, it operated with the market Just like in here, I've got it outlined in black here for XRP right in here. Look at the rest of the market. All the waves moving in equal unison with the rest of the market. Makes a really hard case for the SEC to sit there and say Ripple's influencing the price when we can clearly see it's totally moving with the market. And that can be good and that can be bad, right? I mean, a lot of us want to see, more utility driven use coming with XRP rather than speculative price action. We want to see it implemented and being used more with cryptocurrencies in general. And we really have just kind of seen kind of a speculative bull run happen in the crypto market without a lot of things with utility. And ever since we've had that breakdown that happened below that, 52-cent level that happened over there for XRP, it's hard for me to pick out any type of target on how low XRP could go. And then, as it broke down and took out trend as well over here, it's hard for me to figure out how low can XRP go, especially with all of the wild things that are happening over here in the cryptocurrency market in general and all the liquidations that are happening and all the big names and the fallout that happened from Luna and UST and Celsius. And it's a wild moment. I don't have any assurances to make on, how, the things that I see on the charts that make me super excited about this moment right now for the price action. It doesn't seem that the short term looks that good or really how low it could go. I really don't know. We have Bitcoin selling off. We have Bitcoin back at its all-time high today from 2018. We haven't seen big buy volume come in yet. There's lots of evidence out there that, a lot of these DeFi funds and stuff all have liquidation levels down there in the $14,000 and $15,000 price levels. If that is to happen in the market, what will happen to the XRP price? I'd love to sit here and say, hey, utility is going to win. It's going to save the day. But, and the SEC would love to hear that Ripple can save the price. But the history just shows is that it moves with the market. So if the market's going to keep going down, hey, I go into it with the expectation that that's likely in the cards for XRP as well. Now, one thing I can do is I can look over there at the Bitcoin plus the Ethereum dominance, and we know that both of those assets went on to hit 4.236 extensions for both Bitcoin and for Ethereum. So if this thing gets some type of bounce and some type of retrace or whatnot, we've been looking over here at the dominance chart and at in particular, the Bitcoin plus Ethereum dominance chart, and really been tracking this for a whole year at this point to see the structure in here, comparing this to how it's a continuation structure happening. It's been frustrating as it hasn't broken down, but in the last 3 days, there's been a dramatic price action that has happened over here for this, setting up similarly to the exact same structure we've been comparing it against for all this time. So going on a whole year, right? And so if there's a chance of maybe some pausing out happening in here and then a continuation of this exact same structure, which it's been following, and we start to see the Bitcoin and the Ethereum dominance fall, well, hey, we can look throughout the history to see what happened during those time periods. So you have time periods where the Bitcoin plus the Ethereum dominance fell in here. You have time periods of where the Bitcoin and the Ethereum dominance fell in here. And you have another time period in 2021 where the Bitcoin and Ethereum's dominance were falling in here. And as we could see now, it's shuffling back down to the lows, just like the structure did as we've been comparing it against. But, say that's in the cards. Say there's some big breakdown right here and that the Bitcoin and the Ethereum dominance start plummeting. Well, what has happened with the XRP price during situations like that? And we can kind of overlay these on top of each other to see that we could see that as this was falling in here, we can look down and see that this was a massive run for the XRP price. We can look right here and it's kind of hard because they're overlaying on top of each other. Let me show you this one. That's how high XRP skyrocketed in there during that fall back down in there of the dominance, that it was a huge rise for XRP there. And this one was huge too, from a percentage standpoint. It just doesn't look like it because of how big that was. But, even in this time period, right, what was happening with the XRP price? It was rising in here. It was rising. And in here, what was happening? It was rising during those time periods of where that dominance was falling. And so if that structure is playing out, as we've seen before, maybe that could be optimism for the market. Right now, it's super hard to see optimism in the market because it's just, you have the 10-year treasury yield breaking out. You got the Fed raising interest rates. You've got Terra Luna fallout. You've got Bitcoin price action down. You got XRP price action down. You have just a weathering storm right now. And without much buyers coming in right now, that it's hard to see any type of optimism. But when we look at this type of structure and what has happened before with these dominances, it was optimistic. So, there's something to look for there. But, that doesn't say that XRP isn't going to drop to 12 cents first and then, start working its way up or something. It doesn't give us any of that type of information. And I don't have a way to be able to pick out where the bottom is for XRP. But I know that XRP remained in the top 10 through all of this without going on a bull run. And that throughout history, been many times where the market cap of XRP was able to bypass that of Ethereum all the way from 2017 through 2019. And that, in 2017, it was these price levels in here from which were the launch pad for XRP when we measure XRP versus Ethereum. And that if we flip on the relative strength index and we're looking at this on the weekly time frame, we can see that big bullish divergence emerging right here on XRP versus Ethereum, even as it's been sitting down here just flat and compressed, higher strength versus Ethereum. Which, if you don't know, the bull runs for XRP in 2017 were these time periods right in here and right over in here. So like on the charts in particular for XRP, on like the USD charts, I don't know. When we look at like the macro perspective of the market and how it's lining up, it sure is making a very similar structure to what it shows at what happens when dominances fall. When dominances fall for Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's historically been good for XRP. Seeing big old divergences over there for XRP versus Ethereum. But at the same time, we're at the wrath of the market in this time period that we're in right now, where we're essentially in a down-only market right now. And the market's just going to have to prove when it's ready to stop doing that. And even in this time period right now for XRP, with how my bags are and, my whole cryptocurrency portfolio, there's times where I think to myself, I kind of just wish I was all in only on XRP. I mean, that's my personal faith. Obviously we have the SEC lawsuit and everything like that. I think XRP has incredible staying power, especially with being able to stay in the top 10 throughout the whole cryptocurrency market cycle that we've seen so far without ever getting itself knocked out, even with lots of guys coming in and out of the top 10. You don't do that without having power and a community and people who are passionate about it and people who see value in it. So we'll have to see, but right now we are at the wrath of all markets. It's just the reality of it at this point right now. Once we got those breakdowns, at this point, it's just, all right, when's it going to stop? And if the stock market's going to go into a really big plunge, if it goes into a really big plunge, it's going to be bad for all markets. It's going to be bad for the cryptocurrency market, going to be bad for XRP. It's going to be really, really bad if this isn't just more of somewhat of a correction happening in the market. But if we actually have underlying big problems that's going to cause a huge deflationary issue in asset prices, we've seen how each of these things happen and what they've done to the cryptocurrency market during that time. If the bubble has actually popped over here in the stock market, then it's just going to be bad news, right? Right now, the Dow Jones is down 18%, right? 18.5%. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are down even more. But, we can look to the past corrections that the Dow has had in here to see that, 38%, 19%, 16%. We're at 18.5%. The concern, of course, is how high the Dow has gotten at this point, and really all indexes have gotten. And that it's just a series of rolling over. And so it feels like we're at the wrath of that as well. And there doesn't seem to be any strength saying that the stock market is turning itself back up right now. So the bears have a really good grip on the market right now. But the question is crypto going to change the world? When you look at how impactful it's been on Congress, that they've written up legislation for cryptocurrencies in support of cryptocurrencies, when you look at how much volume is done in cryptocurrencies, when you look at how many banks have partnered with Ripple, wanting to utilize cryptocurrencies to improve payment processing, that's not speculation. That's utility happening with them. Creating non-fungible tokens, being able to have a digital cash to be able to use in e-commerce. We have cash in real life. On the internet, you have to use your credit card or your debit card. You have to have a bank as an intermediary. We've never had cash to be able to use in our digital world, but it's now here. You can't tell me there isn't a use case for cash on the internet. A lot of people who like to buy stuff on Craigslist in real life and just hand over a $20 bill and move on, and there's no history of it. There's people who want that for the internet as well. But right now, it's a wild time. It's an unknown time. I like what I see over here in the dominance charts to say that, hey, XRP has performed historically well in this type of structure happening in here if the dominance is going to break down for Bitcoin and Ethereum. But what's going to happen in between? Your guess is as good as mine right now. The bears really do have a good grip on this market at this point. And we'll see when they decide to let go. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be today. And I can't tell you that it's not going to get a whole lot uglier. It could. But out of all the things that have come and gone out of the top 10, XRP has remained in there. And I think it's remained in there for a good reason, for being fast and inexpensive, with a lot of liquidity and a lot of people backing it. And I saw John Deaton put out this video over there on Crypto Law TV over there on YouTube. And he had lots of guests on his show, lots of familiar faces. And just to have this type of community in a coin is important. It's not just that it's fast and it's cheap, but there's got to be a group of people who believe in it. And there's no doubt there is that community in the XRP army and the XRP community. And that speaks volumes to itself. So I definitely believe we have staying power. We're just going to have to ride this out to see how this thing ends up going here in this very volatile macroeconomic and crypto economic time, and one of the roughest times that I've had in this market. And there's no signs at this point that things are going to get better anytime soon. So the road ahead looks rough. But as I say all the time, and as Brad Garlinghouse has said, know that this too shall pass, from someone who's seen a few downturns over the years. Whether you want to sit it out and wait on the sidelines or whether you want to ride it all the way, to each their own. I'm not sure how the short-term price action will play out for XRP or for the cryptocurrency market in general. But the thing that I know is I've been following the dominance for a very long time. We could see how it's playing out right now structurally. It's getting really close to giving us a deciding factor on whether or not is this dominance going to break down. And we've seen what has happened before in this market when that does show it pauses out for like a month in here. So a pause out, hey, a lot of crazy stuff can happen in the market over the course of the month. Just look what's happened over the course of the last 4 weeks. The last month has been insane. So a lot of things can happen in that time. But when I look forward to seeing what happens at that moment if that ends up playing out. So that historically was a positive thing that did happen in this market. You can see it playing out in here. There's nothing bullish about that structure right there, right? I mean, this is not a bullish structure to break upward at that point. This is a breakdown structure, and we've seen what's happened in those time periods. And hey, we'll see what happens in the market if that ends up coming, and we'll see what happens with XRP when that time ends up coming. And I'm a long-termer. Everything I've got is in long-term capital gains. I go into it with a thought process of this too shall pass. But it doesn't mean there's not going to be some pain. So, everybody's got to do what's right for them. It's never easy, but XRP has been through a few of these, and so has Ripple. And out of the people that I respect in the cryptocurrency market, I know it's controversial. Not everybody loves Charles Hoskinson, but I enjoy listening to Charles. He's incredibly intelligent and understands cryptography, and his experiences in the market of being here since 2011 had stated, if this is your first crypto winter, then welcome. Been through many since 2011, and they always hit like a cold ice bath. Where in the panicked, blood in the street phase, it clears in weeks to months as a bottom is found, then a long climb up the ladder. And you can call me crazy, you can call me insane. People call me things all the time, especially on Twitter, but I wouldn't maintain this as being my number one holding if I didn't think it belonged up in here. And I don't spend a lot of time talking about XRP, the digital asset in particular, but I peek around at the guys who do. And I know a lot of you guys do. I know a lot of you guys do too. To see all the information showing how utilized XRP is and the opportunities that exist out there. And there's definitely a lot of passion for it out there. So it will remain my number one digital asset. And if we go deeper and it goes into accumulating all over again, you better believe it, that's the one I'll be buying. But to be clear, I'm not buying anything right now. I'm sitting back watching, but I've got my eyes on this guy right here. So we'll see how things go. We're at the whim of Bitcoin and the crypto broader markets right now, as Bitcoin is now getting back to its previous 2018 all-time high. We'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens with the stock market. The Federal Reserve meeting is today. They're going to announce the interest rate hikes. That's probably already going to have happened by the time I release this video, and we'll see what markets do then. Till then, I should probably get some new hats. I'm sure somebody's going to comment on the dog hair that's sitting right there on top of that one right there. And a little bit of dog hair right there. I had a picture of me in Tennessee, if you guys remember. I had been in a car for 9 hours, and I think I had a hair on my shirt in my picture. That picture got like 8,000 likes. I was like saying hello from Knoxville, Tennessee. There was a hair. So somebody pointed it out and said, wear a clean shirt, man. After 9 hours in a car, there's definitely going to be somebody commenting about that one hair right there on that. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. That's going to wrap it up for this one. Again, Link2 is running their promo again through today, where they've reduced the minimum investment over there on any pre-IPO to $5,000. And for first-time investors over there on the platform, they get $1,000 back in XRP when they make their first investment. I always like Ray. He's a super nice guy. Even when you meet him in real life, he's just like this. He's very nice. I'll let him explain it to you.
What's going on, my Link2 family? Ray Fuentes here, Community Director at Linkto. Spelled out, that's Linqto, the #1 application on your smartphone for investing in pre-IPO unicorns all day long. Happy hump day, happy payday. I'm dropping in with some exciting news. Linkto will be continuing the promos from yesterday, which means we're honoring the reduced minimum investment size of $5,000 instead of $10,000 for all accredited investors on the platform. And if you're a first-time customer, aka first-time investor, we're airdropping $1,000 in XRP to your Uphold wallet, no matter which pre-IPO unicorn you invest in. So to all you contrarian investors out there who've been on the sidelines waiting to pull the trigger in your first pre-IPO unicorn, there isn't a better time than right now. The promo ends tonight, Wednesday, June 15th at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. I'll be sure to copy the terms and conditions in the description of this video. So don't miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Head on over to our website, that's linqto.com, and download our application to your iOS or Android smartphones. Get your ducks in a row for our next Linkto Moon mission, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here, my Linkto family. I've got some sunbathing to do with my Fuentes family out here in Lake Havasu. Please reach out to our team should you have any questions. Our Linkto Dream Team is available, hustling around the clock 24/7, 365 to democratize access to the private markets globally. It's not an easy task, but if anyone's going to do it, it's us. Nobody works harder than us Linktonaires, and nobody loves you mucho like us at Linkto. Don't forget to take advantage of our promos. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Love you mucho.
He is literally like that in real life. He's a pleasure to hang out with. But yeah, so that's what's going on over there at Linkto. There's a link in the description of each of my videos to Linkto where you can check them out today, see if you can get yourself accredited and diversify your pre-IPO portfolio. Otherwise, I want to thank you guys so much for watching my channel. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.